Orchard Lake Road is now Orchard Lake Boulevard. Thank you to some amazing work. You know, the guys we haven't thanked all day are the contractors actually built the road, and the amazing engineers have figured out how all this works and goes together, and were able to somehow survive through what was likely a slightly political environment, making decisions throughout the whole process. I promise, Mike Torres, I won't get you in trouble, but thank you very much for joining us. Mike, you're an engineer for the Road Commission for Oakland County. And thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So I assume at some point you got a big table with some pencils and paper on it, or do you use all computers? And you took all of this stuff and these ideas and you made a project out of it, right?
Yes. Nowadays, everything is designed on computer, and even the engineers, to a great extent, use computers. The people that use paper are the ones that are out on the grade, like Mr. Persinger over here, who was the project inspector. At some point, they want to get into the electronic stuff, but...
So I'm dying to ask a question, because I know this took a while. So when you started this project, did you start this project on a computer as well, or were you working on it early enough where it was pre-computer?
Well, not this project, no, it was computer, but I've been on projects where you did it on paper.
So how do you design a road?
How do you design a road? You see the land that you have to work with. You see how elevations vary. You figure out how many cars you want to get through there, and then you create an alignment, create a vertical profile, and
you build it in such a way that the emergency vehicles can make it down very effectively, as they're doing right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of factors, I assume. You've got all of the obvious traffic factors, right? You know, where you got to get so many through this little space and get them from here to there, and I'm sure you look at flow and those kind of things.
Yes,
right?
There are traffic engineers that model and figure out how many lanes you need for the number of cars that are driving through.
And then you got to deal with the topography that you have, and then there's all these other ancillary interests. Does that hit your desk? I mean, you know, how you get in and out of businesses, you know, how people navigate through that. Is that something that you deal with?
Well, in my position now, we're involved with just building it, and those decisions have already been made.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you don't have people coming out that didn't know what was happening or want something different. So, yeah, we get that on-the-spot ad hoc kind of thing going on.
You know, you look at just this road, and I realize it's part of a bigger project, but you look at just this road. It's only 1 mile. It seems so simple to those of us that don't do what you do.
Well, yeah, we find that to be true. A lot of people think it's a lot easier than it is.
So just tell me, why Boulevard from your perspective? And I know you didn't make that decision, but you had to implement it. Why Boulevard versus regular old 4 or 5 lane road?
Well, as Mr. Wilson said, it takes away direct left turns, so you don't have 90-degree collisions with people turning left, and it improves capacity of getting cars through. Similar to roundabouts, a lot of people don't like roundabouts, but roundabouts eliminate serious accidents, and they help cars get through.
Yeah, well, I call them Michigan or Detroit turns. You guys have
Michigan lefts. Yes.
Michigan lefts. Okay, well that's good.
That's a national term, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Michigan left is a national. Did we come up with a Michigan left?
I believe it was developed in Michigan.
Really? Right? It's something else we can be proud of, huh?
Yes.
So, but the Michigan lefts do the same thing as roundabouts. So they keep people from T-boning each other, right?
That is correct.
All right. So it's a huge, huge safety factor. Do you like the way this turned out?
Yes, it's very nice. We're not quite done yet, but the snow is covering up the dirt, so that it'll look good at least until that melts.
All right, and I never interviewed an engineer who built roads before. Is there anything else that you think people might be interested in knowing, other than your phone?
Is that my phone?
Yeah, it's okay. You can answer it. Just tell them you call right back.
It's an alarm. I have to go now.
Dave, the interview is over. I have to go. Is there anything about what you do that people might not think about, understand, consider?
Well, yes, what they don't consider is once it gets to the point of building it, there's really not a whole lot that's going to change. A lot of decisions have been made, and it wasn't just one person making decisions. Once we're out building it, there's not a lot that we can do. If there are problems that develop, we fix things on the fly, but we wouldn't change a boulevard to a 5-lane or to a 3-lane.
Right, but maybe there's a submerged river going under your roadway that you didn't know about. I can't imagine that would happen. It's probably a bad example, but I'm sure you encounter, things that are based on the geography of the area that you might have run into, you didn't discover that, and other construction hassles, or maybe a block of concrete that's submerged from a previous road you didn't know about.
The most common problem is utility conflicts, where there are things in the ground that nobody knew about or didn't know exactly where it was.
All right.
And those things cost money, but we get it done.
Well, Mike, all of your peers that you work with are all watching you on the radio.
They're getting a kick out of this.
Yeah, they're having a lot of fun. Well, you built us a hell of a road. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, very good to meet you. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.